A ton of you guys have been asking for this Luka step back workout, so it had to be done. Note that this is a pretty advanced workout due to the nature of the step back, but it can be changed around to fit all skill levels. So before you get on the court, make sure you've progressed enough up to it and you're ready for it as a player. And if not, definitely feel free to move closer on some of the shots or cut out any drills that you feel won't translate to your game. But even if you don't shoot many step backs in game, it could help you expand. Anyways, let's get to it. So as always, make sure you get a good dynamic warm-up in. If you don't have one you routinely do, I'll put one in the description that I use for our virtual academy. This is a pretty demanding workout physically, so I don't want you to skip this step. Then we're going to start off with some physical prep. I'm going with some isometrics to start in a lunge position, keeping that back knee hovering right above the ground and that front knee right above that toe. We're holding for 30 seconds each leg. And if you have jumper's knee, I'd suggest going for another set on each, since this will give you a little bit of pain reduction. Now we're doing some oscillating lunges, pulsing back and forth and reversing it as quickly as we can at the end of each movement. If you take this freeze frame, it looks like the position you'd be in for a step back, which is exactly what we're shooting for. Again, we're going 30 seconds each way here. Then finally, we're doing these continuous step backs, focusing not only on the explosive push back, but also balancing quickly and efficiently as both feet are coming down. Let's go half court and back here. Now we'll jump into some ball handling. We're starting off with a pretty similar drill to what we've been doing, focusing on getting into that low attacking position with our chest over our knee, and then snapping it back under that same leg. I really want you to pound and push that ball speed here. Also notice how my back foot has almost no weight on it as I load that front foot. 20 seconds each leg here. Then we're going behind the back with the same idea. Again, really shifting that weight from leg to leg and putting almost all weight on one foot at a time. Now we're getting moving a bit, going side to side, cross between behind and repeating. Again, really push for ball speed and getting that ball somewhat wide at least on each dribble. We're going to the free throw line and back twice. Notice that if you lose the ball, that's a good thing. We want you to push your limits, just recover and keep it going. Now we're getting into these hop moves, and you'll see Luka use these a lot to counter. He'll get moving downhill and then come to a stop with 2 feet to sharply change direction. So I'm going to half court and back here as I focus on getting as many moves as I can before I get to half court. Same thing with behind the back. Coming to a hop, getting quick, short moves in. Then I'm going once for distance, really trying to push out of that move and cover ground. Again, same thing for the behind the back. Now we're working on that hang that Luka loves to play off, which really gives him a ton of options. Notice how long he hangs that ball for too. This is going to be one of our main focuses. So we're starting off with the most basic option, exploding out of that hang. Again, really focus on raising up, slowing down as much as possible as you hang that ball, and then exploding out as explosively as possible. Now we're just adding an in and out to it. Still hang that ball as long as possible, but then explode out using that in and out. And finally, we're crossing out of it, lifting up into another slight hezzy, and then exploding out of it. Half court and back. Now we're getting into a shot warm-up, where we're staying about 3 to 5 feet away from the bucket, shooting threes out of these little tap step backs. The goal here is mostly just to see the ball go in and get comfortable shooting moving slightly backwards. We're going around the arc and back until we reach 20 makes. Another thing you'll notice about Luka is the arc he's able to get on many of his jumpers, which allows him to shoot up and over defenders on step backs. So this is one of my favorite simple drills for that. As we start on the block, exaggerate that arc on that short shot. We knock down 2, we step back to that first hash mark and knock down 2 with even higher arc. Then the second hash mark, third hash mark, and then the elbow. And I'm still exaggerating that arc here. Then I'm repeating on that other side. Now we're going with an elbow shooting warm-up, building up a bit more. The first 4 makes will be off a hang hesitation, just into a simple pull-up. Make sure to really pick up that speed here, popping up in the air as quickly as possible. These pull-ups are what's going to set up that step back. Now we're into the first step back of the day, focusing on reaching that foot out in front and dropping the torso angle to sell that drive. And then we're pushing back and knocking down the shot on balance, making 4 here, and then essentially going the same footwork but with that inverted snatch back. 4 here, going both sides. Last drill before we get into the main series, and it's going to be progressive balance jumpers off of a step back. So the idea here is that we're going step backs from the top of the key, starting with 3 makes where we step back, get full balance, really take our time, and then shoot. Then we're going 3 makes where we speed up that balance a bit, and then progress up to getting our balance as quickly as possible and really challenging it. Make sure to knock out going both sides. Now we're applying it closer into a game situation, and in this first option we're hanging, hopping into that quick between the legs, getting downhill, and then stepping back as we apply everything we just worked on. Making 3 to 6 here depending on how much time and energy you have. Then we're hanging the other way just into a simple explosion, stopping with that same foot, same hand pound. Both feet come off the ground to square them up, and then we're stepping back with that little tap step back. Lastly, we're selling that first option of hopping into the quick between, but crossing back over and adding a step back out of it. And then of course we're going to repeat on the other side. And then lastly, we're just getting up some reps. So I'm going a pump fake into that 1 dribble step back. Pretty simple shot, but this is really what we want to rep out. I'm going around the arc to make 5, and then I'm coming back around to make 5 the other way. If you have time, feel free to do more, but this is the last drill of the day. Again, all these are pretty tough shots, so feel free to move in or simplify them. But they can be great to expand your game. So go out, try this workout, let me know how it goes after. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully you got something out of this video. Also make sure to follow me on Instagram at ByAnyMeansBasketball for a lot more. Stay tuned.